Movie Recaps presents Deadpool 2. The movie opens with Deadpool lighting up a cigarette. He turns all the gas on in his apartment, lays down on multiple barrels of high-test fuel, flicks the cigarette up and down into one of the barrels, and blows himself up. He lets us know that he actually dies in this movie. Flashback to 6 weeks before, Deadpool is on a roof in Hong Kong. He jumps into the adjacent building, gets shot multiple times, and takes out many opponents with guns, katanas, and maximum effort. The main guy he wants runs into a panic room and locks himself in. Deadpool asks the man to come out because Wade doesn't want to miss his anniversary. The man refuses, and a bunch of new cronies appear, which causes Deadpool to run out and into Dopinder's cab waiting for him. Dopinder says that he wants to be a contract killer, and Deadpool doesn't think it's a great idea. They stop, and Wade goes into his apartment. Vanessa is waiting there and doesn't look happy. He makes up a ridiculous but funny excuse, and they kiss. They exchange gifts for their anniversary. He gives her a skee ball token from their first date, and she gives him her IUD so they can have kids. As they celebrate, Deadpool senses danger and tells her to get down. She does just as the door is busted open by the main guy Wade was after, and some henchmen. Deadpool dispatches them and flips a cheese spreader at the main guy, who manages to dodge it and accidentally shoots Vanessa. The main guy runs off, and Wade holds Vanessa as she dies. In his rage, he rushes after the guy and smashes through his car to get him. He grabs him in a hug and moves them both into the path of a truck. Wade doesn't want to go home, so he goes to stay with Blind Al, who he lived with before. She tells him that he can't live until he dies a little first. He takes that advice and attempts many times and ways to make himself die, finally ending at the beginning of the movie when he blows up. He is taken to visit Vanessa, but he can't move past a barrier. She says that his heart is not in the right place, and he goes back. Colossus takes his remains to the X-Men school, sees Negasonic Teenage Warhead, and meets her girlfriend, Yukio. Colossus wants to train Wade as an X-Man, but lays down some rules, specifically, no killing. Suddenly, we are in a burned-up room where a man digs through the rubble and picks up a scorched and blood-stained teddy bear. He activates a device on his arm, and space and time distort. He appears in the background in the present time and place. He approaches two guys sitting on the tailgate of a truck and asks them the year, tases them, and then takes their truck. At a foreboding orphanage for mutant children, a rather serious man rings a bell and young people file in. He tells them that they can be cured of their abilities as he tortures a child named Russell. We cut to Colossus and Wade arriving, and Wade tries to talk to Russell, which doesn't go well as he controls fire. Some soldiers come in and put a collar on Russell, which negates his mutant ability. Wade realizes, in talking to the kid, that he has been abused, and so Wade kills a couple of the staff members but misses the main guy. Wade is arrested and given a collar as well, and they are both sent to a prison called the Icebox. Without his abilities, Wade's cancer begins to slowly overtake him. He distances himself from Russell and tells him that they are not friends. Suddenly, Cable arrives with a bag and makes his way up to where Wade and Russell are. It becomes clear that Cable has come for Russell because of something he does in the future. Wade gets injured, but also has his collar knocked off. He fights with Cable to protect Russell, and while on the ground, Cable steals the skee ball token that he gave to Vanessa. They fight more, and Wade ends up hitting his head and falling into the icy water. He's taken once again to Vanessa, and she mentions that children allow us to be the people we used to be, and Wade realizes that his mission is the kid. And once more, he is thrust back. During a small riot at the Icebox, Russell makes a connection with a mysterious and large mutant who has his own cell down below. Wade goes back, and his friend Weasel tells him that the inmates are being transported to a maximum security place, and he could try to get the kid then. Wade holds auditions for a new team he wants to start, and finds several good candidates, such as Domino, who has the mutant ability of luck. Another gentleman named Peter with no mutant abilities just came by because he thought it looked interesting, and was immediately hired, much to the disappointment of Dopinder. Cable interrogates Weasel, who tells Cable everything about the plan. Wade and his new team called X-Force fly over the drop area and parachute out. Wade gets caught up on a billboard and every other member dies, except Domino, who is perfectly fine. She gets into the armored truck with the inmates and Cable shows up looking for Russell. Action ensues and Russell manages to open his cell as well as the large inmate cell from the prison. The large inmate punches through the floor of the truck and it crashes. Out of the debris walks Juggernaut, who tears Deadpool in half. Russell says he's going to burn the headmaster alive and leaves. Wade is now at home regrowing his legs, and Weasel, Dopinder, and Domino enter. Weasel says that he told Cable everything and they need to gear up. Just then, Cable is in the room, and he needs help to take out Juggernaut. He tells them that Russell will have his first kill tonight and become a murderous villain who ends up killing Cable's family. Wade makes him promise to give him a chance to save Russell, and Cable allows him 30 seconds when the time comes. They agree. They stop by the X-Men compound and Wade manages to apologize and tries to get Colossus to help with Juggernaut, but he refuses. Russell and the Juggernaut arrive as well as Wade and the crew. They try to talk Russell out of it, but he goes after the headmaster while they all take on Juggernaut. Wade gets slammed down by Juggernaut and has a spike through his head. Suddenly, Colossus arrives and helps Wade up. Negasonic Teenage Warhead and Yukio arrive as well. Wade and Cable fend off armed orderlies, Colossus and Juggernaut fight, and Russell terrorizes the headmaster. Domino fights through and gathers the rest of the orphans into a bus. Colossus, Negasonic Teenage Warhead, and Yukio take out Juggernaut. Inside, Cable goes after Russell, and he and Wade get blasted outside. Wade finally gets a chance to talk to Russell and starts to get through, although Russell still wants to kill the headmaster and firebombs Wade away. Wade takes out his prison collar, puts it on, and tells Russell if he wants to kill someone, it has to be him. Russell charges up to blast Wade, and Cable dives for his gun. Wade runs, dives in the way as Cable pulls the trigger. The bullet hits Wade in the heart, and he falls. Russell is overcome that Wade would do that for him, and the others gather around. Wade takes a hot minute to die, but eventually passes. Cable turns away and activates his time machine. Wade arrives back to Vanessa and can pass through the barrier now. They embrace, but Vanessa tells him that he has to go back because they all need him, and he needs them. We flash to just before they run to head off Russell and Juggernaut, and Cable reaches over and pats Deadpool's chest. The fight goes on as it did, but when Wade is shot, the skee-ball token that Cable put under his costume saves his life. They see the headmaster running off, and Wade tells everyone to not waste any more time on him. Suddenly, Dopinder appears and hits the headmaster with his cab. With the mission complete, they all walk off together. And with that, the movie ends. Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching this video. Please do me a favor and subscribe. It will help my channel to grow and improve.